I've decided to challenge myself to the anti-challenge. And I'll actually go out of my way to fail every challenge.
I'm gonna have to go back on your videos and see what you do and see if I can find any habits.
You're gonna have to get real creative with this one.
Alright, I kinda saw this one coming. But luckily, I have a bacon farm. You know, I've been thinking, wouldn't it make sense if all the pork that these guys dropped was cooked already? Wouldn't it make sense to just have cooked bacon? I mean, I'm not going to say exactly where we are, but I think we all know what the nether represents. And if it's hot enough to instantly vaporize water, I think it's hot enough to have cooked bacon. Precision. This is what we have to do now. Now, I want to get some work done up here and fill this out a little bit. But there's too much of that stupid powdered snow up there. So right now, we're actually going to collaborate with dski. We've got a fun idea that we want to build today. I wasn't sure if you were working on Hogwarts or your side. Oh, there you are. Hello? Oh, you missed.
This is going to be our actual storage room.
Oh, jeez. You got big plans for big storage.
So I'm going to dig this whole thing out here.
Oh my gosh.
All the way down to like about 20 blocks. And I'm going to build like 4 silo buildings.
Hollowing out another mountain. This is what, the third mountain you're hollowing now? Grinding down to a stump?
It's the second one. The second one.
Okay.
Although the inside of this one is, so you know what, you're right. This is the inside
Yeah.
of all that under the chateau it goes pretty much down to Bedrock. Flying around the server, and dude, I caught your base at like midnight with RTX on. I made an Instagram reel out of it, and it's just amazing. The night sky and the towers. You know what? I was probably coming in from this angle.
Oh yeah.
Basically, your base is just straight from here almost.
Yep.
Like if you launch straight from here, so that was what was giving me that idea that we're actually on this call about.
Yeah. So you've got the skybox, right?
You gave us all the stuff for flying machine.
Right.
For one, but obviously between the both of us, we can make multiple flying machines. So what I was
definitely
thinking was, since we have this kind of path that basically does go straight from our base to yours, I'm thinking if we build something up in the sky here, I think we could put in a really cool looking like skyway that a flying machine flies in. So from the air one, I think it is a straight shot where it almost takes it like
it's like right over the rightmost tower.
Okay, and then it's like if you go straight from here, it's like the iron farm, right?
There's an iron farm?
You didn't know there's an iron farm? So anyway, what I was thinking, dude, is because yeah, I mean, we could kind of get crazy with this skyway thing. Because Fred's not too far from here either.
Where is his new place?
Oh.
Well, so you were thinking of connecting him up too?
Yeah, I'm thinking we bring it like to one side of my, like we'll have like little skyway stations right? One at your base, one at my base, and the skyway itself will just connect between that, and then we'll take one from my base and come out to his.
Yeah. Now, when you first told me your idea, I was thinking, so like, how am I going to incorporate this in my build? So I was thinking having like some clouds or something coming off, kind of, so you could kind of like bunny hop or frog leap up through the clouds to get to the station from the air temple.
That would be totally cool.
And then, did you want to put in midair just like light strips, like along the airway?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. You are right on. Yeah. Dude,
so we should pick out some what does that sound? X coordinates. Yeah.
To line up. Yeah, let's do that. Let's figure out where you want to line it up at your base first. Like, you know, let's kind of consider your base the starting point.
I'll probably have it come off of this one. Maybe I'll have some sort of way to get up to the top here.
Where are you at? Let me fly up. Oh, I see your gamer tag now. Okay. So,
yeah, so I'll build a way to get up to the top of this tower, and then I'll start like building out this way.
All right. I mean, it's gonna be like completely useless to use.
I know, because we all got Elytra.
Yeah, we've all got Elytra, and flying machines are so like I would imagine actually minecart rails are probably faster.
Sonic is faster.
You know,
that's for sure.
But yeah,
no, I mean, definitely, yeah.
Too fun.
All right, well, figure out what you want to do, how high you want to go, and I'll base my my clouds off of that.
Cool. I'm thinking that 240 is going to be it. I think that 11 blocks that I went up with the dirt will make it like it'll be high enough above all the other tower parts of the chateau to where it'll look cool.
All right, sounds good, man.
All right, we'll talk to you.
We'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Later.
So I've been doing some thinking. So the spot we've got picked out for my skyway station is going to be directly in line with this tower. It's going to be up at Y240 and at Z negative 6200. So we've got to build up to this cloud up here, right? And I've been thinking ever since we got off that call that I want to be really careful with this, because I don't want a big old ugly cloud being an eyesore in the sky right over my base. So we've got to keep things relatively small, and we want it to look as natural as possible. But then at the same time, if those are the only clouds in the sky, that might look really out of place. So I was also thinking maybe having some other ones, like further off in the distance, and maybe some like behind the current build, and just adding like several layers around the air temple. I think if it's done right, it could look really, really cool. Alright, so they've got to be made out of something white and fluffy. And obviously what comes to mind first is wool, but I don't really have a ton of that. So I thought maybe building them out of snow would be appropriate. And judging by my coordinates here, I've got to go up 85 blocks and forward 85 blocks. Obviously, a staircase just straight up is going to be kind of hideous. So, let's see what we can come up with here. Alright, we're definitely gaining some height, but I'm struggling a little. Because this space in the middle feels really empty, so I'm definitely going to have to add some clouds over there. And, you know, why don't we just do this right now? We're going to add some clouds out this way too. Alright, so here we are up at the top of the world. I've got my clouds, but I severely underestimated how high exactly I needed to go. And I wanted each step up to be kind of gradual. So I've got a couple different like circles of clouds. But if we just glide around down here. So for starters, I am not in line with the airbase at all. And then also, we've got like this clear, distinct line pathway going up. So what we need to do is, for sure, we need to fill this out with more clouds. I was worried about too much, and then I went too little. But it is really fun to jump from cloud to cloud. I think I've got the distance right for each of these jumps. But I just need to make these clouds bigger. I'll probably wind up connecting quite a few of these. I've got some ideas to be able to space them out a little bit too. And finally, I do want to line it up with the air temple a little more. So it's a little too far to the right here. I want to line it up with the air temple because the air temple is a little more in line. Ouch, that hurt my face. The air temple is a little more in line with Joe Nathan's base. So if we ever wind up connecting with him over here, which, hey, we can actually see the clouds from here, then that'll make it a little easier for him to connect. But this is a really cool project. It just might take a bit longer than I had anticipated. Oh, almost made it. Still working on my airbending. But back in this tower, that's kind of off to the left and built into the mountain, I've made a small little snow farm room. We've got a piston that activates these observers. All these observers activate these other pistons. And then there's some snowmen back behind here. Right? It's only got 2 snowmen right now. And I feel like I'm going to need to fill up as many shulker boxes as possible for this cloud filling situation that I'm going to need to be building here. Alright, so with these 2 guys, hopefully that should speed up the snow farm a bit. But I'm going to let this run while I go do some other things around the base. I also need some cactus. Need some green dye for various things. I forget exactly what I needed it for, but I do need it. I know at the very least I need a lime bed. I've been sleeping in a white bed when clearly lime is the best bed. And so I've got a small cactus farm out here in the desert. When we move the earth villagers in, they will get rid of all this cactus. We'll move it off to the side or like in the city. I'm not going to need a ton of green dye later, but I've got at least a couple things. Let me rephrase. I think I have a couple things that I am planning to use green dye for. Yeah, I'm definitely limited on the hopper speed. Holy cannoli. That's a lot of snowballs. Excuse me? Oh my gosh. I don't know what to do. What the heck do I do? He's got my freaking, like, super sharp sword. Dang it! Give me that. So, pro tip, don't let a baby zombie run off with all your super good gear. Thankfully, I had, what is this, a sharpness? Sharpness 2, so that helped kill him. But he was using my sharpness 4 and knockback, and he was just killing me instantly. It wasn't even a contest. I think I'm missing my torches, but I'm not too brokenhearted about that. So I think these clouds are going to take a little time. I'm going to take a break from them for now. And I also today wanted to start work on... He's noticing my zombie my zombie situation. But I also wanted to work on getting materials for the ice palace over here. You'll notice there's no ice at our ice palace. That's got to change. So we're going to be making an ice farm back behind here. And then once we've got that, between all the ice that we're going to be getting from the ice farm and all the snow from the snow farm, I think we'll have all the materials that we need to hopefully finish both of these projects in the next episode. Alright, so here's where the fun part comes in. I have an idea for an ice farm, but it's not fully designed yet. We're going to design it together. So my plan is to make this ice farm inspired by the 12 by 12 by 12 cube mud farm that Freb made that you saw in the last episode, combined with an idea that I'm getting from a friend I used to play with more often. He had this design of an ice farm that used detector rails and minecarts to activate all the pistons. So a minecart would go over the track like that, and it would activate the pistons. They would push the ice blocks over when they froze, and they would push them up when the minecart went under them. So we've got the shape and the activation, and then I also wanted to add a unloader, because my plan is to actually use a minecart with a hopper. So yes, it will be activating the pistons, but as it rolls around underneath all of the ice that I'm breaking, it will also collect it. And then I'd really like to add an unloading system, maybe here-ish, for the hopper minecart to drop everything off and fill up a shulker box. Minimal work for me. That's what I'm going for. Alright, I've got all the rails and pistons in place, and we'll have a water source here, and water sources all along here, and another water source here, creating an infinite water source here in this first row. And then the cold air will turn all that water into ice. And then a minecart on all the rails down low will activate the pistons. And I got it set up that way because ice doesn't really generate the same way that it does with like the mud farm or a tree farm. That's a little more, organized. The ice is a bit more random. So whatever ice does generate, it'll just push it up as it comes in. And then I plan to have my rails come off this way, and this will be where the drop-off station goes. But I am pretty much completely out of redstone. Just got 4 pieces left. So we're gonna go get some more. And while I was down there, I was thinking, we could probably double our production speed by making this whole wall over here another line of pistons. By the way, I realized I had this wrong. The spots that needed to be the water sources on the side needed to be just one block closer to the wall. But this spot can continue to be a water source, and we're going to waterlog all the pistons. That's how these ice blocks started as water sources, because the pistons and the side water would turn that into a new water source. Anyway, we'll have all of these be pistons here as well, and then we'll need to go under and fill in this row here, and then the detector rail that's over here, activating all these other pistons that are just to the right of these blocks here. We'll just continue this. We'll move this torch to the side, and we'll continue this. And now that we're all dug through, and we've got a space for the new water source, we'll just come in here, and we'll add a repeater right here. And then I think this redstone dust will reach all the way. Shoot, we are just one block away from having it reach, because that's 16 right there. Let me count this over here. We can move this repeater. So I think that'll work, because I think this is 15 on this line of redstone, and then that allows us to get one more that way. I just want to put it in a little bit of delay so that when this side pushes the ice, it's just a little after the other side. Alright, here we go for a test on the pistons. That looked like it worked to me. It looked like all these fired, and then everything up to that very last piston fired. I think we've just got to add in all the water to all the pistons. Waterlog them like that. Yeah, and this ice generation is working phenomenally. Now we've just got to build the collection system. Alright, so we're going to start with the base raised up a little bit, because this is going to be multi-purpose. I just got to make sure that the rails have a good angle to make it up all the way to the point that I need them to. Geez, I wasn't quite anticipating how many spaces over it would need to go. I guess this is pretty far down, isn't it? So it's got to go up at least this high, because I know. So the plan that I've got, I know I'm gonna need some hoppers and some comparators to detect when it's pulling out the stuff that it needs to pull out. And so the plan is to have a shulker box here and have hoppers filling it up like so. I think this is going to be just enough space to do it. Or maybe not. I think my calculations are off, because I think... Oh yeah, we definitely can't do this. No, you know what? I'm going to want a little more room. Like this. Alrighty, so we've got our little space here. The hopper's going to fill in a shulker box. And then I plan to put a chest here to put all the shulker boxes in. We can stock up on ice. And so the reason it's kind of designed like this is because we're going to run the rails over the top of it, because I want to stop the minecart on a downward facing powered rail, so that when it turns off, it'll pause while it's unloading, and then when it turns back on, it'll go right back to doing what it was supposed to be doing, going around in a circle again. So I think now it's time to add in the powered rails. Alright, then we want to get a comparator output right here into a block here, and then we'll do 2 blocks up. We'll get some redstone here and a torch here, and it'll keep that powered until that hopper has something in it. But that hopper won't detect it quite fast enough to stop down the whole system. So, at the same time, we need to come over this way. And I have to be honest, this is a painstaking process. Took a lot of testing. But this is about the distance, about 4 rail lengths away from the powered rail, for the minecart hopper to go over it and stop it, and then it gives it just enough time to get items down into that hopper, and it'll pause it the whole time. It should anyway. Gosh, I hope it does. Let's do a quick test before we finish our build. You see how it paused there briefly because it went over the detector rail? This is going to be cool. Oh no, I didn't even think about that. Alright, so it sounds like the unloading system works. Awesome. Oh man, do I feel silly. So this system seems to work pretty well because we've got 3 different ways to power off this torch. The minecart, the hopper, and the lever. So we can just shut down the whole system when we're not using it. But I feel so silly because I didn't even think about the pistons over there being waterlogged create a whole tray of ice. And that is that's not what we want, because I was gonna say because I think it makes it harder for the minecart to pick up the ice because the items float. But let's just test that real quick. So it did pick up some. But see, it definitely didn't pick up those there. Yeah, so I'm gonna fill in this ice here. And we're gonna scrap these pistons. Alright, we've got the mountain zip back up. I think I'm just going to wait for this ice tray to freeze, and then we'll collect it once. And in the meantime, we'll finish up our little build here. Because I don't really want to see any redstone. And I want a little bit of space in here. Alright, and with that, I think we're done with this little room. And the ice is pretty much done freezing. So this is what I really wanted. All of the items will float down to the edge of the water, which should go right around here, right? Should only flow 7 or 8 blocks. And now the hopper minecart should have no trouble at all picking up those blocks there. Yeah, I got most of them. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 passes, but it'll get them. And unload them. Now there is just one last thing that I want to add to this build. I want to put a staircase on the side so that I can come up here really easily. And mine straight down. And that will drop it right down to the level that the minecart will be able to pick it up. And I wanted to ask you guys, did you enjoy watching the build come to life and hearing my thought process? Or would you prefer to just see the build once it's finished next time? Let me know in the comments. So I'm going to hang out here. I'm going to let this generate some ice overnight. I'm just going to AFK. And hopefully, it'll be plenty of ice to help us finish off our build for the waterbenders. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Check out the other Forever Bedrockers as well, as we're all doing super interesting stuff. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.